So I'm Daniel Lawrence. I'm the founder and CEO of Bots for That. And we're on a mission to take the work out of accounting and using our beanies and AI agents that work at the speed of conversation. And it's quite an interesting time, I suppose, to be doing what we're doing and be at the absolute bleeding edge of not just, I suppose, the sector, but how the future of work is going to work. Before we had the funding, I suppose, it was a lot less intense. We didn't need to do anywhere near the level of recruitment we do. As soon as we got the funding, we knew that we were going to get a little bit chaotic, and we knew it was going to be rapid recruitment that we needed, and we knew we weren't going to be able to do that on our own. So before Place, we used to do the same thing that most people do: a bit of LinkedIn, a bit of job site, a bit of referral. Probably 50-60% was referral, people we knew, and then we used a little bit of agency work for contractors, and that was about the extent of it. It worked okay for what it was, but the pressure wasn't on. But it didn't always work as well as even though the level of recruitment was quite low, we had quite a high failure rate, I suppose, in a lot of ways, because you can find loads of candidates, but you can't find the right candidates as easily. So yeah. Yeah, I don't suppose I went in knowing exactly what I needed until we were going through the process with you. So in some ways that's quite a compliment, because you helped us realise what we needed and what we didn't. So the thing, I think probably number one, we needed someone who had the energy that we needed to convey, I suppose, the excitement of the opportunity we felt we had on offer. So someone with the energy to present that clearly and with the same level of passion that we feel. That was probably the first one, because you've got to stand out, I suppose, as an employer. I think the other qualities, I suppose, I was looking for that I realised was someone who not just knew the market locally in Cardiff, but could effectively, if and as and when we needed, could effectively find and recruit and source the right people anywhere in the world at the time that we needed it. And we didn't realise a lot of that until we got started. I guess what we knew is what we didn't know, and we knew what we didn't want, which was the same produced before, because we knew that wasn't going to work. We knew it wasn't going to be enough for us. We knew we needed to find a partner, and we only had some rough ideas, but energy was probably the number one thing. And I think the great thing about you and Place is you really do get us in that way. You understand our kind of DNA, and you're able to put that across in a way that then candidates warm to. And then actually at the same time, you're able to disqualify the wrong ones, which is probably more important than qualifying. We did the first round. It was a rapid round. It was the first one, but we knew the funding was coming, so we had to get ready. And that first round was lots of people, lots of roles, very diverse roles, a few different technology roles, customer sales, success, a really diverse range of different positions, and a whole range of different people that we found as well. And we didn't know what to expect. I had a team of new people who hadn't gone through this process. And I suppose what made it very easy for us to continue on is that we didn't have to think about all those things that we didn't know. We just turned up. Kieran was there with his partner, with colleague, and you had some books, you had some drinks, the room was booked, the tables were laid out. It just gave us the confidence thing. We didn't have to think about anything we would definitely have forgotten or not even known about, and that gave us the confidence initially. Once we'd done the interviews, you gave us a really diverse range of people. It was very easy for us to say, no, definitely not that kind of person. Yes to that one, that's a maybe. And I think that process, you learned very quickly from our choices. You learned very fast, I suppose, into what makes us tick and what we're looking for. The second round just got better and better from there on. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is, because it's a bit stop-start. You think you're there, and then actually, it's not going to be there. It's going to be another month, and then another month. And the thing that's difficult about, I guess it's just a people thing, is constantly keeping people warm. And that takes energy, it takes time, it takes really good communication. And with everything else that's going on, running the business and doing the funding, obviously one thing tends to go, and it tends to be that thing. So we didn't have to worry about that really. All we did was we kept in touch with Place. The people were kept warm, they were kept informed, and they were ready for when we were ready to go, which was great. You know, you don't get to keep everybody because that's the way it works. But the ones we wanted, we got, and I think we got what we wanted most of all, in most cases. So that's really what made the difference for us. We didn't have to think about it. The managers were informed, the candidates were informed, and at the time when we were actually ready, we could just ring and say, "No, let's go," and they were ready to go for us. I've been really impressed. I was always a little bit skeptical, I suppose, of using agencies, and that's partly because I suppose of the experiences we'd hadn't been as good. And you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you're missing until it's not there, right? So we've had some really incredible moments, I suppose, over the last dozen or so hires. We've had our ups and downs, but then that's life. I think one of the standout moments for me was actually quite recently, and I spoke to you that day and said, "How do you fancy looking at Romania for us?" And we'd worked with other agencies. We a couple of the ones we used for contractors as well. We just got in touch, and still not heard back from them to this day. And like within 2 days, he rang me back and said, "Yeah, here's 6 people. Here's some insights on the Romanian market. Here's some insights on the roles. I know you know most of it, but here's some new stuff you might not know." And I was like, I think Christian was just like blown away, because it's the first time he'd interviewed 6 people and wanted them all. First time it's ever happened. It's never happened for us. So that was a real standout moment. So overall, our impression and our experience with Place has changed, I suppose, it changed our opinion of recruitment agencies completely. So much so I'd say actually, hopefully, that no one watches this testimonial and no one else uses you, because selfishly I like to keep yours to ourselves. So yes, if I had to, because I'd like to keep it to myself, but if I was to recommend you, I would. In fact, I'm joking aside, I definitely would, and I have no qualms of that. The reason why, I think, in a word, it's a bit like a chameleon. You just literally almost become part of our team. It's a full extension. It's seamless. You get us completely, understand what we need, you understand how we think, what our DNA is. You're just a part of the team. And that's, I suppose you can't really buy that, although you can.